Hey everybody, Cam Capital here with a video on Wednesday, April 21st. So finally got some action back in the markets. Pretty solid green day across the board for just about every stock, every sector. Got a rebound, and we basically replaced yesterday's entire movement. And with that, the smaller companies, some of the heavily shorted stocks got some interest today off the news that new brokerages have a margin requirement. I don't want to call it a rule. It's more like a regulation, because if you actually go to the FINRA site, there's really no penalty for breaking the rule, but they're going to have to basically show that they can cover all their margin, and if they are underwater, they're able to pay off their interest timely. So trying to give some confidence back to overall markets and everyday investors that the big dogs aren't getting by scot-free. So with that, we got some interest, and that rule is supposed to take effect tomorrow, or regulation I should say. And so with that, we have Skillz. So Skillz is a pretty heavily shorted stock, as you see here on the daily. So we had this massive run from November, peaked beginning of February, and then we've just been selling off. So this is kind of your classic buy the rumor, sell the news type event. So throughout the last quarter of 2020, a lot of buying was occurring by ARK, and then right at the beginning of February, they came out with news that the Skillz was teaming up with the NFL to create a mobile gaming app. That's what Skillz does. They make mobile games. Sell the news event, and we've plummeted from 46 down to here bottom 12.4. So $32 move on a $46 stock. So about 75 to 80% decline. So we got down to 12. You see here we basically consolidated, or bottomed I should say here, where we had consolidation prior to the move. And then if you look at the volume here, according to Thinkorswim, bounced basically right at the point of control. So I'm just going to jump to Yahoo. This is going to be the one jump, and then we'll stay in Thinkorswim. But so here, Yahoo, just to look at their technical or fundamental technical shared statistics, what they call it, whatever. So float is pretty large, 250 million shares. Insider 17%, institution, so basically 62% is kind of locked up, held. But if we go down here to short, I think that's what's important here for Skillz, right? So shares short at the end of February, 14.84 million. Shares short at the end of March, 35 million. So in that 1 month, we got a doubling of shares short. Actually, would be 150% increase in short volume, and so that percent at the end of March was 12%, and anything over about 10% you could say is heavily shorted. But that was an increase there, 21 million shares in a month. And if we go back to Thinkorswim and look at the prices when those occurred, so March 31st was a Wednesday. So if you look there, the price was basically $19-20, and so over the last so far 3 weeks of April, dropped from, let's just say, $20 a high there on the first, $20 down to 12.4. You're looking at another 40% drop. So you'd expect that the shorts piled in heavily here. So what did we get today? We got some short squeeze action, high volume, 90 million shares, and very strong all day. So we put in that bottom 12.4 right off the bat and moved higher. So I had a mark here, just as we've been moving up through the day, that 1573 from basically this high of the candle on from last week, kind of the indecision candle. But we bounced off there and kept going higher. And so basically where we closed at today was this 127.2 fib from the downward move. All right, so the swing high, and I didn't adjust this. We could have moved down to the 100% here, where we bounced off it. So put a hammer candle in it on March 30th, pushed back higher, then sold back through it. One more bounce, sold through it. Bulls pushed it back up, sellers came, knocked us back down, and we closed right on today. So I think it's going to be pretty pivotal tomorrow to see if we can gap above it to keep this upward momentum. As always, when you have a massive move like this on high volume, you could get a sideways day, consolidation day, people taking profit. So we'll have to look to see if that is the case tomorrow for Skillz. But let's just go to the intraday chart. Well, you see here we're moving higher already after hours as I'm making this video. So if we get up to 17.1, definitely clear that 127.2 fib. But you see here basically in the morning, not a ton of action pre-market, pretty low on volume, but then right out of the gate, basically put in a hammer right off the lows from yesterday to that 12.4 area, across the moving averages, and then incredibly strong all day. One thing I need to get better at too is I usually stay looking at the 1, 3, and the 5 minute time frames, and playing these pullbacks, you're like, oh, it's going to keep going down, But if you zoom out to say the 10 or 15 minute, right? So this thing didn't even touch the 15 minute 9 EMA until 11 o'clock. So that's just extreme strength all day. Off at once, doji candle off it, right into power hour, and then flying into the close. So great strength on Skillz. We'll have to see if the regulation has any effect on these stocks tomorrow. I know a lot of YouTubers, other financial people are definitely looking at it for, say, AMC and GameStop. I'm going to put out a video on both of those combined, as GameStop didn't move today, but AMC made a bullish engulfing candle on the daily. So we could get some action go to the end of this week, right? It's been pretty slow the last couple weeks, definitely last week, first 2 days this week. But we could get a lot of action here, so don't be afraid to be a little bit more aggressive in your plays. So that's what I got for you guys. Where do you think Skillz going? And how do you think the next 2 days are going to end out for the rest of the week? Appreciate you taking time to watch the video. We'll see you in the next one.